To the tell-all confessions of X Factor pop star Altiyan Childs. The extraordinary interview that aired last night on Today Tonight revealed the shocking downfall of someone who should have it all.
In the candid interview, Altiyan spoke openly about his money problems.
I surely will tell you now, I have no money. That's as simple as that.
You're broke right now?
I'm pretty broke, yeah. Actually, I'm broke, yeah.
The singer broke down while addressing claims by his now estranged manager that he had in fact given away his money to his father.
Okay. I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to justify that with an answer.
Now, he introduced us to his 19-year-old girlfriend, who he says he wants to marry, while the mother of the 15-year-old fan he's rumoured to have had an affair with also spoke out.
The people that choose to believe it are very sick.
The interview has left some concern for the singer's state of mind. And Today Tonight's Brian Seymour was the reporter in that interview. He joined us now. G'day, mate. Thanks for stopping by. What an extraordinary story. Were you shocked at just how open Altiyan was about pretty much everything?
No, the way it came about is I'd heard these rumours, so I called him, met him and laid it all out. And it was his idea to be very, very open and frank and honest and involve the young fans that were part of these rumours in the story. So I wasn't really surprised, but certainly it's been a very intense and emotional experience for Altiyan. You could see that.
Yeah. But how did it go so wrong, Brian? Because at the end of last year, he'd won X Factor, he had Ronan Keating in his corner, he'd signed to a major record label. He had the world at his feet. Yeah, why is he now
Because it's such a
crying?
tough industry. It's hard to make money out of your first album, regardless of who you are. Now, he had a great start, that's right, but at the end of the day, Sony has to pay him in advance, which they did, something like $70,000, which is supposed to go to living expenses and setting up travel and living arrangements while you're touring and getting the album together.
Yeah, well, you have to survive while that happens.
That's right. So the money comes later if it all works and if everything stays on track. So it can be hard at the best of times. Altiyan's suggesting that he's the victim of some very poor decisions made by those he hoped and trusted and contractually signed to protect his interests. So we don't know the full story. I haven't seen the full documentation or his accounts, but certainly his story is that he should have it all. He should be on top.
Well, doesn't he say he's down $300,000 or $400,000?
That's how much he feels he should have made that he hasn't received. He will be getting a cheque for $40,000 or $50,000 from Sony soon, he says, for the album, which sold 140-odd copies, 1,000 copies.
Yeah. What about the relationships or the friendships? There's plenty of controversy about this morning. How did he respond to accusations of a relationship with a teenager? Yeah,
well, we're going to take a look at that because her family spoke to you, that teenager. Let's have a look. This is another clip from last night's story.
I trust him. He's like my brother. I trust him with my children. I trust him with my life.
Natalie has even made Altiyan the executor of her will.
He's part of our whole family. It's not just his relationship with Elle. I mean, yes, she's the reason that we met him, but he comes over, he spends time with all of us.
Yeah, that was Altiyan with his dad there. Natalie Keeling, that woman's name, is the mother of that young 15-year-old. She took her daughter to the X Factor. This is a show watched by children, largely. A lot of kids love these performers. They went to every elimination round. They got to know Altiyan, they connected. They call him Uncle Altiyan. He's very much a part of the family. Natalie says she's had long conversations with him alone, one-on-one, and trusts him implicitly and is horrified by this rumour and would never allow her daughter to have a physical relationship with an older man. So she wanted to come on and say that.
Has there been any comment from this manager, his personal manager, Steve Gold?
I've spoken to him, and I've spoken to him since the story aired. He's bound by what he can and can't say because of these charges. His home was raided. They found some drugs, some money, some equipment used to make illicit drugs and some weapons. He's facing one firearms charge. As I said in the story, he denies that he did anything wrong. He says he handled Altiyan well and he's got all the documentation to prove that he treated him very fairly.
Brian, he seems to be such a tortured soul. How would he be feeling watching this unfold? So to do the interview with you, but then to see it last night on TV, watching this morning, reading it in the papers, how's he going to deal with that?
Well, he told me, I asked him after the story went to air, I texted him and he didn't watch the story, but the reaction from his friends and fans, he was very happy with their reaction to it. He's a tortured soul. He lived in a cave for a while.
Yes.
At least he's out of the cave and back in the real world, but it can be a pretty cruel place.
It's a cruel place sometimes. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks.
Okay.